Everyone. I would like to welcome you to the Tourism Development Commission regular meeting on Tuesday, October 21st. If I could please start the morning with roll call.
Chair Anna Manier.
Present.
Vice Chair Montgomery. Absent. Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Commissioner Marin. Commissioner Kisselberg.
Present.
Commissioner Shershinovich.
Here.
And Commissioner Shelton.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item number 2, approval of minutes. Commission discussion and any action to approve, change, amend the minutes from the September 16th meeting. Do commissioners have any changes, subtractions, additions? All right, with that, I will take a motion.
I move we approve the minutes.
Thank you.
Second.
A second. Thank you, Commissioner Miller. And Kisselberg was our first. All right, moving right along to item number 3. We have an Old Town Scottsdale update, presentation, commission discussion, and possible recommendations regarding Old Town Scottsdale marketing and project updates. Presenter is Angelica Capullo, Marketing Program Manager. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Good morning, commissioners, and thank you so much for having me here today. I'm Angelica Capullo with Tourism and Events, and I'm excited to share with you today. We're going to do a recap of the June Days marketing campaign and then also take a look ahead at Scottsdale. So let's go ahead and start with June Days. If you're not familiar already, June Days is Old Town Scottsdale's summer marketing campaign. It is now in its 5th year, and it is really a collage and celebration of all things that are taking place in Old Town during the month of June. As we know, it's the time of year when the weather starts to get warmer, we don't have as many visitors coming to town, there's fewer events, but it really makes it a nice opportunity to connect with our locals, to let them know what's happening, and to really form a connection with them. So we'll take a look at our strategy behind the planning of June Days. Like all of our campaigns and promotions that we work on, we look back at the Tourism and Events Strategic Plan to see how we can fit programming and then the advertising into the campaign itself. We look at our goals, always working closely with having the merchants at the forefront. How can we help drive business to their locations? How can we shine a spotlight on them? We then take a look at the implementation and how the program is created. So as mentioned, June Days is really a collage of all the things taking place in Old Town throughout the month. The city programs signature events and micro events, and then we also work with the merchants to feature their events. During this June, we had over 100 events featured, 100 event days, and 50 merchants that participated. And this was all rolled into a multimedia marketing campaign, and I'll go into a few of these details as we work through the slides here. So if we take a look first at the programming, you'll see some of the photos here from a few of our signature events. We had many return events this year. So you'll see featured the Scottsdale Stadium Tours. This is the 2nd year we partnered with the stadium over Father's Day weekend to offer 2 tours to the public. This is not something that's offered all year long, and we found that the tickets go quite quickly. Both days sold out, and we had a waiting list. People absolutely love the opportunity to go behind the scenes, learn the history, and really feel connected to the city and one of our magnificent facilities that we have here. Also highly successful, and now in its 4th year, is Stories and Sweets. Stories and Sweets is a weekly presentation in collaboration with citizen advisor Bruce Wall, where he presents a look back at Scottsdale's history, but we combine it with a sweet treat from an Old Town bakery or shop. This year, we were able to work with the Brightside Cafe, Rue's Cake House, Chin Up Donuts, and Arcadia Farms to provide a treat. So it's really a nice way to get the business right in front of the visitor, having them literally in their hands something to provide and provide them a taste of their location, hopefully sending them back there on a future day. These were also extremely successful in terms of attendance. We were at maximum capacity, which is about 70 per week, in many cases standing room only. So we will look to continue these in the future and also perhaps work with Bruce in other ways throughout the year based on the success and interest in these programs. We had a second year of the yoga at the Scottsdale Civic Center. This is in partnership with Fashion Square's Lululemon. They created a morning, all levels flow yoga class. We had about 200 participants. And also what was really nice is that morning Fox 10 did a live remote from the location. So really showcasing Scottsdale Civic Center in many ways here. In addition to the events that the city puts on in our signature events, there are also the merchant events. So what you see here is a snapshot of the landing page created for June Days. So all of the advertising that we'll talk about in a moment leads to the June Days website. Starting in April, we reach out to the merchants via email, via personal visits, different ways of communicating with them to let them know, what do you have offered in June? Is it a trivia night? Is it a live artist demonstration? Is it a summer sale just for locals? And encourage them to participate. So they are able to submit what they have happening to the website. In the beginning of June, or I'd say in May, the website is really a blank canvas, and by the end of June, it is a beautiful collage of all of the different things happening in Old Town. Once you're on this web page, the user can then click to a dedicated page and events listing for that business. They can find out what's happening, and we complement that with a social media post as well for the business. One new component this year was called the Tournament of Treats. And we were looking for ways to really extend the momentum. June is an entire month. We wanted to keep that buzz going, keep the conversation going, really keep the excitement brewing. And what we did is created a friendly competition to identify Old Town's #1 frozen treat. And in a tournament-style fashion, the businesses competed starting the first week of June and going all the way down to be in the finals the last week of June. And what we found is we also had some great media here as well. Things kicked off on Channel 3 with weeknight anchor Derek Stahl, where he hosted all the frozen treats on his show. And then Fox's Corey McCloskey, who you see pictured here, he did some live segments inside the Red Canyon Cafe and also inside Shakes and Cones, where he got behind the counter with the owners, he was making the treats. It was really it was fun, but it was also a nice spotlight on these businesses. Throughout the month, people could vote. They were also entered to win prizes from the participating locations. And we had over 1,000 votes, as well as excellent social engagement, as you can see here in one of the posts, with the different businesses. So it gave them an opportunity to connect online and also in person at their locations. So how does everybody find out what's happening, what there is to do? An advertising campaign was put into action to help promote all of these wonderful things happening. It was really a multimedia campaign that was activated, and as you can see here, this is some of the creative that was used. And we're able to style it to fit the different demographics we're trying to reach, the different types of activities, and then implement that in areas that would best match that target audience. So here's a snapshot of some of the results, and you can also see some of the different media tactics that were used. We had print, connected TV, paid and organic social, a lot of press, as I've mentioned already. In Old Town itself, we're able to market through our kiosks, through our street banners. We have rack cards that are distributed at different city locations, and a lot of city resources that we can utilize, in addition to the website, the newsletters, all the different areas that we're able to drive traffic to. So overall, we had excellent collaboration with the merchants. We did do surveys afterwards to the attendees and also the merchants to see what their thoughts were, if they would like to repeat it. We had very good results there, and as mentioned, the attendance was extremely high for all of the signature events. So I would say it was very successful, and looking forward to next June, even though it seems quite far away. So, as summer starts to fade and we wrap up the conversation on June Days, I will begin our countdown to Scottsdale. If you are not familiar with Scottsdale, it is in its 10th year, so hopefully you are familiar. Otherwise, we're not doing our jobs very well. But hopefully you have heard of Scottsdale. It is Old Town's celebration during the holiday months. Things are going to kick off on November 29th with the Jingle and Jangle Tree Lighting Spectacular on the Scottsdale waterfront, the free event that the entire community is encouraged to attend and be a part of. I wanted to also mention that this year Scottsdale was awarded the Arizona Travelers Award winner for Best Community Event. So we certainly have a lot to live up to this season in keeping that award. So here's a look at some of the things that we can expect during Scottsdale. The entire Old Town is really transformed into a beautiful winter wonderland. We have decorations throughout the entire town, trying to really activate the different areas and promote movement for people to travel and visit the businesses in all of the different areas. The majority of events and decorations are seen at the Scottsdale waterfront, but as you'll see here, we also have decorations throughout the other areas. And this year we've added a few elements to the Scottsdale Civic Center, which have not been present in the past couple of years. So we're trying to activate that area as well. Also, I have listed some of the events. Some of these might look familiar. We've had Meet Santa at the Old Town Scottsdale Farmers Market, certainly a favorite where you can receive a souvenir photo. We see many families of all ages, as well as many four-legged friends attend the market, so that's been extremely popular in the past. We will have the Scottsdale Strolls again every Saturday night, these free events along the Scottsdale waterfront. However, this year we have added a Scottsdale Stroll and Shop element to it. So really trying to, again, bring our local businesses to the forefront and also keep people at activities longer, finding more ways to engage with them. We're working with the Mercantile Market and the Old Town merchants to have a presence or to have a market at the Scottsdale Stroll and Shop. We're also returning with Pancakes and Pajamas with Santa, and supporting the Gold Palette Art Walk with additional entertainment and promotions for their featured event. We have several new events as well. We have partnered with many Old Town merchants, Los Olivos, F&B, Los Milux, Arizona Stronghold, and also Scottsdale Artist School to bring events to the area. And I should make a note, many of these events are free and open to the public, such as the Holly Jolly DIY decor, where people can come and create an ornament. But then we also have smaller ticketed micro events. So for example, the event that we've created with F&B, where she's going to be demonstrating one of her signature meals, that will be a smaller, intimate ticketed event. So we try and create these events to fit different target groups and also activate different tourism partners and different tourism pillars. So to really offer a wide program of events for the area. Similar to June Days and everything that we do, merchants are at the forefront, and we're always trying to find ways to help and support them. So we began discussions with them similar to June Days with the website. They can also put something on the Scottsdale website. There's a dine page, a shop page, an events page, and a tours page. So they have a free listing they can add, as well as add descriptions and photos about their holiday offer. They're also able to participate in other ways throughout the season, and we have a couple new ones this year. So we're going to be hosting in the Scottsdale Civic Center a contest where you can enter to win a day in Old Town, and many merchants have donated prizes for this. And we're also creating Old Town Scottsdale's first tinsel trail. Really excited about this program. It's a holiday window decorating trail, and for the past few weeks, artists have been able to submit a design, and then starting tomorrow at 9 a.m., merchants can go on and select the design they would like to have on their windows. So at the end, we will have a beautiful trail of locally painted storefronts. It will be a great chance to showcase the artists, showcase the businesses, and also provide something to our visitors and to our community, which is what we're always looking to do, tie all of these together. I also wanted to note last week we did have postcards similar to what you see here, 500 of them distributed to the merchants' doors. We worked with the Old Town ambassadors, a huge thanks to them, to help deliver these postcards and making sure that we're reaching the merchants beyond the regular newsletters that we do as well. So trying to touch them in different ways to ensure they're getting the messages. So I thought I'd wrap up and play this video in the background while I'm just going through a few additional points. If you haven't been to some of these events, this provides a nice snapshot and inside look at what you can expect during Scottsdale. It's also one of our marketing tools that we'll be using throughout the next several months. You can view it on the website, and it will also be incorporated into many of the advertising tactics throughout the next couple of months. There is a full advertising campaign underway. We will be having a number of print ads in Arcadia News and the Scottsdale Progress. We also this year will be having ads in local theater guides. So perhaps you go to see the Nutcracker or something at Grease Paint and you will see the ad in the program guides handed out. So that's something new we're trying this year to tap more into the culture and creativity audience. We also have a number of billboards in the Arcadia area, connected TV, Google paid search, which always performs very well in our campaigns, paid and organic social advertising, and also at Fashion Square this year, we've created, they've actually offered us a space that they've never offered up before. It's right by the food court, and it's going to be a very large wrap promoting Scottsdale. So with them being so close to this area of Old Town, we're hoping that while people are shopping, they also think about visiting us over at Scottsdale. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions or if you have any recommendations or suggestions for the programs.
Thank you so much, Angelica. Fantastic. The June days, I love the turnout of that. The Father's Day event is very cool, but it was so nice to see that we're getting into Scottsdale time. You know, boot season and all of that is here, and we're very excited about it. But it's looking fantastic. You guys do a wonderful job, and thank you so much for keeping merchants at the forefront and making sure they have opportunities to get involved. Commissioners, any comments, questions?
Actually, I just had a question. So for the June days, aside from your signature events, how are you tracking your year-over-year growth?
How are we tracking the growth?
Yeah.
Is that your question? So we're able to look at our website impressions, and one thing I actually think I forgot to note, but in June, the Old Town Scottsdale website, it was one of the highest number of page views for the past year. So we look at the advertising and how the page views are doing. The merchant surveys are something definitely important for consideration, attendance. The number of events that we have, we can also track that. So there's a number of variables that we can look at in terms of increasing.
Sure, and which demographic is performing best for you? Because, of course, it's all digital these days for all the generations.
Which type of advertising tactic or a demographic in terms of?
Which demographic is performing best for you?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I'd be happy to come back with an answer for you.
Thank you.
Sure.
So question about June. I know in the hospitality community out here, a lot of us that were going after local market were discounting, especially to locals, providing them better pricing in order to drive business into our venues. I didn't see a lot of discounting going on for local merchants. Did that take place, or did it not take place? What exactly happened?
I think there's a few that do local discounts. I know the museum, they have some nights where they offer free residence. I also know the W Hotel, they do a Lucky Locals promotion that they were promoting, and they have, I think it's 20% off spa treatments. I would say that there was a few, but definitely not the majority. We found a lot more events that are taking place, so things like trivia nights, wine tastings, more like activations, more so than the local discounts. But I think that's absolutely an area that could be expanded. I agree, locals, everyone's always interested in a discount. It gives you a reason to come in. So it's something that we could definitely talk to them about and encourage more throughout the promotions.
I think that it would be highly suggested that from a local market here, seeing a discount in the months of June, July, August would be highly encouraged to travel down here to get a discount off of food and beverage, especially food and beverage. Not necessarily the hotel stay, but the F&B part of it, they would be more likely to spend. Because that's what we're seeing in other destinations and other hotels are doing, is discounting during need dates. So I think that would be a great recommendation to those in Old Town who are participating.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for the recommendation.
Anyone else? All right, thank you so much. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, up next, item number 4, Western Spirits, Scottsdale's Museum of the West. Presentation, commission discussion regarding Western Spirits, Scottsdale's Museum of the West and Museum's 2025 donor-funded major building expansion, acquisition of the world-renowned Basha Western Art Collection, and planned future exhibits. You guys are busy. Please welcome Todd Bankifer.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair and Commissioners. It's great to be here. I was looking forward to this morning very much. I've got a lot to talk about, and I'm looking forward to get into it. But I'd like to start with thanking Angelica and her team for being such a great partner in the Arts District where we're at. So just wanted to say thank you. I also want to say thank you to our liaison from the city, Rachel Smetana, who just works tirelessly for us, and her boss, Judy Doyle, who are just great partners with us. And I just wanted to say thank you to them in public, so if I can. And I want to introduce my colleague from the Western Spirit, Danielle Ajami, our Director of Marketing. She's brand new, and she's added some gasoline to our fire. We're on fire now. All right. I want to take a moment and really reflect on this slide significantly, and that is that there's an important story to tell here. When you look at these three entities, City of Scottsdale, inclusive of the Tourism and Development Commission, our Western Spirit, and the generous private financial supporters that have supported this museum. Now at 10 years old, we have been able to fund this without taxing our local citizens. And to be able to fund this 12 years ago through some MPC bonds was just a stroke of genius by this city and by this tourism and commission, as well as the city council, to allow us to build this museum for $12 million, I think it was, and then to turn around and have the opportunity to add an expansion to it, which I'll get into here in a second, by utilizing these three entities. It's been probably the most successful public-private partnership I have seen in any of my history in both government as well as in the private sector. It has worked significantly well, and I want to say thank you to, obviously, to you as the commissioners, the past commissioners, the current city council, the past city councils, those that have fostered the idea of bringing this museum to life here in Arizona and specifically Scottsdale. I think we should all be very, very, very proud of that. And that's why I wanted just really to make some emphasis on this slide to say it took all three of these entities to make this a reality. And we feel really, really good about the fact that it's alive and well and 10 years old now and on its way. And we're going to talk about that. After celebrating our 10th anniversary this January 15th with about 450 people at our museum for just a beautiful celebration, and we focused on those that had the vision to think about putting the Museum of the West in the westmost western town, back probably almost 45, 50 years ago. That was when the first idea, this whole idea came about. And today we can say that we recently were voted the #1 Western museum in the United States. We recently were inducted into the Scottsdale History Hall of Fame. And at visittheusa.com, we were rated as one of the top 16 museums in the whole United States. And as you see the museums that are around that middle square, the Autry, the Met, the MoMA, those are the museums that we are a part of that got voted by visittheusa.com. So we find ourselves in some great momentum, and that's what I really want to try and get across today is the momentum is on its way, but we still got a lot of work to do. We recently just got the certificate of occupancy for our new 12,000 square feet of expansion at the Lewis Sands IV Center. 2 floors added onto our museum over the last year and 10 months. And we're entering into a true transformative phase where we're going to add 9 new exhibits, 4 of them in this new space and 5 in the existing space over the next year. That has never been the case at our museum, to be able to transform that many exhibits over a length of time. And of course, this expansion cost $17 million. It was only 12,000 more square feet. To make it 55,000 square feet, and Tourism and Development Council was so kind in providing $1.2 million of that $17 million, and I thank you for that as well. And to be able to now start to curate this space, we will be opening this in February of next year with 4 new exhibit of new fine art. Probably most notably is the Eddie Basha collection is going to be coming up from Chandler. We actually started to ship art last week, so it's on its way to our museum as we speak. And we'll start to curate this space on the top floor, and that will all be the Eddie Basha collection. Bottom floor will be 3 other exhibits that we're excited about as well. We also used some of that $17 million to renovate the Virginia G. Piper Theater. 10 years old, we thought it was time to get some renovation, get the acoustics better, the sound better, the screen better, and that window sliding door to the right was not quite big enough, so we added 6 feet to it so that people could look out into the sculpture garden in a better way. As I mentioned, 9 new exhibits, including the Eddie Basha collection, will be curated over the next year. My new chief curator is up for it, but he's like 9 in a year is probably more than anybody should ever do. But the fact that they're all coming ready to plus adding 4 for the new expansion is the reason why there's 9. That usually would be 5. We've hosted some great community events over the course of this year. I had Kevin Costner receive the Western Spirit 2025 Award in February of this year at our museum. And then just last Saturday night, we had the Saloon Night in the new expansion space upstairs that we thought we would just do a little topping off party up there to have it begin before the curation would start. 300 and something people upstairs in an enjoyable evening of Western flair. Good band, good dancing, and lots of gambling. One of the most important parts of our programming at the museum is our educational program, both for students and adults. One of the things we're very proud of through our education program is that we bring the students to our school based on where they are in their curriculum. Most of it's about how migration is starting west and the stories of the history of migration. 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, we bring them in when they're during that stage in their schooling, and we connect them with visual storytelling in the museum that tells them how migration really did take place coming across the American West. So it works out great, and we're increasing the number of students. We're going to do 70 new schools this year come through our museum for over 4,000 students, and the adults come in for their tours, and we provide them the same education, but obviously a little more advanced. But we do that on a regular basis, and we're starting to do more of that. And we're thankful to the Scottsdale Charros for their fine and foundational funding, and we appreciate that very much. And that's why we call it the Scottsdale Charros Education Program. Attendance. This is the conversation I wanted to have, and that is that we are increasing our attendance each year, but we're not to the degree that I believe we should. With the momentum that we have now with our educational programs, with the events that we do, and with the 9 new exhibits in the existing part of the museum, we should be starting to head towards that 100,000 people a year mark, and that is our goal. That's more than doubling, but we believe that's something that we have as one of our markers, and that's something that we're looking to do and believe strongly in being able to do it. It's just that we had to hire Daniela and a few other folks to start working on some really strong marketing goals. that top one I just mentioned. But we also need to be able to increase our awareness in the community and our visibility across Phoenix and statewide. Uh-oh. I think I just hit the wrong. I'm sorry about that. Positioning Western Spirit as a museum that's in the midst of the Old Town in the Arts District, and being able to market this as the way we should is on the way now. And we feel like that's going to require some resources, and we're going to be able to start to deliver the type of branding that we should, deliver the type of comparative data that we use to find out how much we should be going after people. We recognize there's over 900,000 people that attend museums each year in the state of Arizona, and we're only getting somewhere between 5% and 6% of those people coming to our museum. The other museums obviously are much older. We understand that. More people know they're around. But we're at that point now where we've got a trajectory that we need to take advantage of, and that is to increase the awareness of this museum in our community. And I think we do that by sort of a rising tide raises all ships, by elevating the whole town, Old Town Scottsdale Arts District as a whole, with this museum being sort of the anchor, and be able to say, this is where arts and culture reside in the state of Arizona, right here in Scottsdale. That has to be part of our plan, and that's what we're going to plan on doing. Oops. Strategic vision, it's obviously getting on the airwaves. It's through internet, it's through TV. That's the only way we can start to get more people into the museum, and an awareness that this beautiful, magnificent museum sits in Old Town, and have the connection made through what I believe is our biggest strength, and that's the stories that our museum tells. Let's somehow turn those into stories that we can tell on TV and on the internet, so people can emotionally connect to something that we're saying and say, you know what, I got to get there. I got to get there. People want to learn where they live, and they get connected to the stories that have created the American West, and they're connected to that and want to come. But we need to be able to tell those stories out across the airwaves. As Jim Bruner always tells me on a regular basis, arts and culture is the DNA of Scottsdale. It's in the DNA of Scottsdale. I think we all agree with that. Our tourism plan is to always talk about arts and culture. And so we just need to be able to be more specific and more direct about how we tell the stories of Western Spirit, Scottsdale's Museum of the West. And lastly, I just want to say very proudly that we're very proud of our progress, but to us, it's not enough. When we think about only 6% of the population that goes to museums in Arizona are coming to our museum, we know we've got a lot of work to do. And so that is our goals. That's our strategic vision. And with that, I'll answer any questions you got.
Thank you so much, Todd. Great presentation. What a jewel we have here in Scottsdale, and I can't wait to see the new expansion and exhibits. It's amazing. And welcome to the team. Sounds like you have your work cut out for you. But it's on a great path. So commissioners, any comments, questions for Todd? No?
I just wanted to thank Todd for that. All he does for the community, it really is a great jewel, and we look forward to your increased success.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. It's always great to be here. And thank you again to the people that we partner with and have the opportunity to work with on a regular basis. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, item number 5, Scottsdale Arabian Horse Show tent rental funding request. Presentation, commission discussion, and possible recommendation to City Council for bed tax expenditure up to $69,000 to support an agreement with the Arabian Horse Association. Presenter, Melissa Shales, Executive Director, Arabian Horse Association of Arizona.
Good morning. Thank you all. I appreciate it, commissioners. As you know, we are celebrating 71 years in February with the Scottsdale Town and the Scottsdale Arabian Horse Show. And what we are asking for is a $69,000 funding of Arena 7, the tent covering. So we have about 2,000 horses, exhibitors that combine together at the show, and over 150,000 spectators that come through our doors. Most of this is an international component as well as locals. We also bring in people from Canada, the Middle East. We are sponsored by people from Europe, Canada, Australia, South America. We have a shopping expo with over 250 artisans, jewelers, and culinary artists. And this year we're offering over $1.2 million in prize money. We also offer over $20,000 in scholarship to youth exhibitors. We are the largest Arabian horse show in the world, even over our national counterpart, which is in Tulsa right now. Who wants to attend Tulsa in October? No, Scottsdale in February is so much better. And what we consider Scottsdale is the Mecca of the Arabian horse. We are one of Scottsdale's leading nonprofits. We do donate back to not only the city of Scottsdale, but to Phoenix and other organizations. We are 11 days of competition. That gives us 16 days of competitors that are in Scottsdale. Most of them are usually here starting around December. And most of them have actually purchased second homes within the Scottsdale area. If anybody's ever driven up off of Arabian Drive, you've seen some of the beautiful Arabian ranches that are up there. We do have, again, a 71-year history. We have founders such as the Chauncey family, the Gainey family, Wrigley's, and McCormick's. And these are some photos that we found after celebrating 70 years last year of the actual first Arabian horse show that was held at McCormick Ranch from 1955. You can see definitely the difference in not only quality of photos, but attendance, horses, things like that. We are committed to a 10-year contract for the TNEC. We do pay the highest amount of debt repayment to the city of Scottsdale. We annually contribute $240,000 to that debt repayment. We bring in approximately $98 million to the economy. That was in a 2005 study. And we lodge all of our officials, judges, everything like that in Scottsdale hotels only. Again, we do give back money to diverse charities across the valley, and we are offering $20,000 in youth scholarships, and this year we actually created 2 more scholarships and $6,000 for people who, yes, they do have to participate in one class at the Scottsdale show, but we wanted to make it more open for attendees that may not necessarily win classes. We bring luxury to the Wild West, to the westmost western town, and we also recognize, again, talent within our Scottsdale school system. We have our history since 1954, and we do like to always talk about our westmost western town. This is the tent covering here. We are requesting the $69,000 to accommodate the construction over this tent. Most of us experienced the rain last week, and as you can envision what that would be like in the Bureau of Reclamation's Westworld, that it is not fun to attend a horse show in that much rain. So what we do is we cover Arena 7, which allows our exhibitors the comfort to be able to show inside, not have to worry about the arena next door to it being flooded, ducks floating in it, whatever it may be. It gives them safety. So Scottsdale itself, or Westworld, does usually have an uncovered and covered arena so that we can usually compensate that. Arena 6 and 7 are the only 2 that don't. We utilize all 349 acres of the Westworld facility of the 360 plus that it has. This is part of a future plan that I'm sure that everybody knows about as the master plan does continue to grow. This is the temporary solution that we've had for the past couple of years until that final plan can be completed. We do spend over $500,000 in marketing, not only for the city of Scottsdale, Old Town, everything that we can to help people understand that Scottsdale is a destination location, and it does help with the betterment of Scottsdale tourism. Last year, we were part of the the Arabians at the Rose Parade, so that gave us a whole new exposure to the city of Pasadena, 750,000 people along those routes, as long as the 1 point however million were watching on television. And do you guys have any questions?
Thank you so much. So I know we've been funding this tent for the last few years, and prices are obviously increasing because everything is increasing. You'd mentioned it's a temporary solution, which is good. Do we have any idea on how temporary this is going to be?
Chair Manier, members of the commission, this is a priority item for Judy Doyle, my boss and senior director of enterprise operations, and my colleagues at Westworld. They are hoping that this will be the last year of this temporary solution with a permanent covering coming on board soon. So we'll hope that that comes true. Maybe this, likely this will be the last year, perhaps one more year. You know how slow government goes sometimes, but we'll do our best to make sure it's the last year.
Okay.
And we are trying to keep costs down. I mean, as you know, most costs are going up 5 to 10%. This has pretty much been within the same realm of anywhere between $60,000 to $70,000 to put this tent up. We work with Barrett Jackson before us to make sure we can utilize equipment to try and keep the cost down as best we can.
Wonderful, thank you. Yeah, and hopefully this is the last year. If
We
it ends up not being, I think we discussed this last year as well, to maybe try to find some sponsorship opportunities for this tent, maybe outside of city funds, if that's possible, if we even need it for next year. Maybe that's not even something to discuss, but just something to keep in mind, which I know you do. Yeah. Commissioners, any questions or comments?
Just a quick personal anecdote about your youth and scholarship program. One of my daughter's best friends participated in both the youth programs and then the scholarship program, and she, through her love of horses, she has become a vet, a local girl who has just started her own practice in veterinary medicine. So I know that these scholarship programs do work, and it helps our youth. So thank you for that.
We'd love to hear that. Thank you.
That's fantastic. All right, any other questions, commissioners?
How many people are staying actually on site at Westworld?
On site, we have approximately 275 RV spots that are utilized during the event, no more than that. I can't tell you how many people per RV. When we do our surveys, it's anywhere between 1 to 3 people per RV slot. But on average, anywhere between 4 to 6 people travel per horse.
So do you have a number of how many total room nights that you're doing?
Oh, goodness, now you're going to make me do math, and that was not my strong subject. Let's see, 16 nights. Our people stay, what do we say, about 21,000 nights, I think, is on the application. In total is what I think what we're calculating. But as you know, it's hard to get information from hotels to give us and release any data to us.
So the hotel relationship that you currently have, you're not receiving commissions, rebates?
No.
Nothing that would, you're basically just getting a percentage off? Is that what your relationship is?
That's correct. So we have a host hotel, the Hyatt, and we work with them to offer discounted rates to our exhibitors, as well as we do get discounted rates for our officials. And then we offer any other hotels, if they want to advertise on our pages, to offer discounted rates as well. We ourselves do not receive any commission rebates or any money from any of these hotels.
So you've not asked any hotel to provide tracking as part of the deal?
No, but I can.
I think you should. Mm-hmm. I don't think they would have a problem with providing tracking if that was part of the relationship.
Sure.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, with no further questions, I will entertain a motion for funding. The request, again, is for $69,000 to support the agreement with the Arabian Horse Association for the tent rental.
I move that we approve the $69,000 for the tent rental.
Thank you, Commissioner Kisselberg. Do I have a second?
Second.
Wonderful. Thank you, Commissioner Miller. Congratulations. Oh, all those in favor? I'm sorry.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you. Darn Robert and his rules of order.
All right. Okay, moving on to number 6, event program funding request. Commission discussion and recommendation on the following applications for event funding. Event venue funding fee, event venue fee funding program, Vineyards in the Valley for $5,699.57. Community event funding program, Greater Phoenix Jewish Film Festival for $12,500. Community event funding program, Thunderbird Art Festival for $10,000. Community event funding program, Arizona Conquers Elegance, $8,500. And staff contact is going to be Rachel, I believe.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Ear, members of the commission. You received these applications in advance. Hopefully you had a chance to review. I'm here to answer any questions, but staff is recommending these for funding requests.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the commission? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the event funding as presented.
I move that we move forward with the funding for $31,000 for all these events.
Okay,
Second.
thank you, Commissioner Miller. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, wonderful, thank you. Staff reports. Rachel.
Yes, thank you, Chair, members of the commission. The reports were in your packet. What I wanted to direct your attention to most is we have taken some time over the summer and recently retooled the tourism development budget. Hopefully this brings some clarity for you, as well as about as much transparency as we can fit into this amount of pages. We are getting ready for the budget development process for fiscal year 26-27. We had a work study session October 7th with City Council, who gave some direction, as well as the city manager has some direction for us. So Judy, as well as some of my smart colleagues in finance, and I will be sitting down and putting together a proposed budget and bringing it back to you. In the meantime, since we have several new commissioners, if you'd like to have a call or a video chat on this budget so we can walk through it more carefully, I'm happy to do that in the meantime, but look forward to bringing you back a proposed budget for your review, edits, and recommendation.
Thank you. All right, moving along, unless you have anything else, Rachel, you're good? Okay. Commissioners report. Do commissioners have anything to report that they did over the last month?
Thank you. I was able to attend the Taliesin West as well as Museum of the West. I had a cousin in town who's an architect and was very fond of Frank Lloyd Wright. It was wonderful. We were up there last week and they handled the rain quite well. And the Museum of the West, as Todd mentioned, they had a feature on Indigenous Day people, and I think due to the weather, the attendance in there, there was a lot of energy in there, and they do a great job. And their director of marketing does have a challenge of just continuing to create exhibits and keeping your interest going. So it's a wonderful spot, and my cousin who was in really enjoyed the time. And we ended up the afternoon by touching off at the Rusty Spur, which was quite a treat. So we enjoyed Scottsdale, Old Town.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, any public comment? I did not receive any. All right, any identification of future agenda items?
Madam Chair, members of the commission, like I said, we'll be bringing the budget back soon for you. That is the main thing I'm focused on. I do believe we have a couple of funding requests in the hopper that you'll see next month, but I'm sorry I didn't bring my notes on those. So unless you have any items you want to add, that is what we'll be focused on in the near term.
If there's an opportunity to bring Westworld and have them do a presentation, I think that would be great.
Okay. Rachel?
Chair, members of the commission, is there any particular aspect of Westworld, just a general overview?
Just to get an update and some information on how they book dates.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any items they'd like to see on future agendas? All right, with that, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, thank you very much. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.